If you're thinking about creating a trust, you might be wondering how long can it last? I mean, how many years can a trust last in Arizona? This is something that goes way, way, way back in time to the beginning of trusts when they were first invented in English common law. And there were some sneaky guys who were like, we're going to put stuff in trust forever. And it was literally intended to be forever. That way nobody can touch it and blah, 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 right? They can put all these strings around it. Well, ended up going into court and the court stripped it and said, nope, can't create trusts that last forever. It's against what they call the rule against perpetuities, right? It can't be in trust in perpetuity. So they said way back when it's limited to 21 years after, so you can create them for this long, for somebody's lifespan plus 21 years. That was what the rule was way back when they first started creating trust laws. Well, Arizona has changed a lot of that. And right now, Arizona says you can create a trust for somebody's lifespan plus 500 years. And so in reality, it's kind of forever when it comes to think about that, right? 500 years. The United States hasn't even been around, what, a couple hundred years, 250 years. So you can do another 500 years. It's a long time. Why would you create a trust for 500 years? There's a couple reasons. I think for folks who are looking at it from a charitable giving standpoint, you can do some pretty cool things if you say, don't spend this money for 50 years, like just invest it, just let it grow for 50 years. And then we're going to start implementing some charitable wishes. Benjamin Franklin did that with his, and he benefited the city of Philadelphia, the state of Pennsylvania, by saying it has to sit in trust for 100 years first, and then it can start being dripped out. And it obviously, you let something sit for 100 years and just earn some basic, simple interest, it's going to massively grow. And that's what happened. So you can do things like that. And then that keeps that's where you're allowed to do it for hundreds of years. Or you could say something like, I want this to stay in trust for my family, my bloodline, and it's going to just benefit the generations. And a lot of times that's called a dynasty trust or a generation skipping trust, where it's literally just going generation by generation. There's enough money in there, and you only allow distributions of a certain percentage so that there's always a main, amount of it where it's just being distributed a small percentage, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7%, something like that, so that it actually never runs out. It just grows enough to sustain the distributions, or maybe grows a little more to sustain those distributions. And then it will be around for a long time. And so that's where you can do something for 500 years and literally create like a little bank for your family bloodline for them to always have that private trust for their benefit. So that's why you might use a trust for multiple hundreds of years.